first, we died.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
Holy shit.
yeah, that's it.
We are starting out so fresh right now. Stuck at work, but ready to learn about spot blacking art. Hell yeah. I was talking to a friend on Discord about spot blacks, and I'm like, no, you can totally do that. You can totally do that. It's easy, it's easy. And I'm just thinking, like, okay, how do I prove that it's easy? Well, I could just do a tutorial. Spot blacking. The brush is important. I'm gonna go ahead and layer a multiply layer. I need a nice round brush. Let's see, what's soft paint pen? We can kind of like look and see how these feel. Can kind of fit them a little bit. Huh. Let's get it closer so I can see it in more detail. That's okay. That's okay. This one's pretty alright. Which one is this? Soft paint pen? Okay, noted. What's this one? Oh, that one's nice. Holy heck. That one feels good. And then I have 6 Pencil Soft, which is my go-to pencil for everything. There it is. It's literally just a 6. It's awesome. This is like my favorite brush. It's just a 6, bro, but boy does this 6 do work. It's just a 6, yet somehow we get the finest, beautifulest lines out of her. So that's a thing. And then I have rough pen. This one's okay. I like it somewhat. I feel like I get the same thing out of the texture brush for this one. So, I mean, the brush is important for the spot blacks. Generally, when you're using like a real IRL traditional inking, you might want to go for like a round brush or like a nice paint pen, or when I say around, I mean like, hold on. Like here's your nib, and then it'll have like this kind of tip to it, yeah? That kind of tip. Or you could use the kind that has like the, what do you call it? Like the bird claw? I don't remember. Like this. And then like the pen paint just kind of like sits inside it, and then it just draws. I forget what those are called. Quill pens? I don't know. Fountain pen? I think it's called a fountain pen. So I'm gonna draw some circles, and then we're gonna show off how to spot black them. Maybe I should make a smaller circle. There we go. Alright. Alright, so if your light source is like just coming straight down like this, you know, just straight down. So if your light source is coming straight down, straight from the top, there won't be like any wobbling. You're pretty much just gonna have like a straight shadow going gosh darn it, going straight across. I'm gonna cheat a little. Yeah. I mean, if I'm not using an actual pen, what am I doing, right? It's all bright light hitting the top of it as such. And then you'll see the shadow being absolutely like right on the end of it here, on this half, on the bottom half of it is where the shadow lies. Now let's say how do I want to do this? Okay. Let's say we were coming in at like this angle. Well, if it was more on the back, if it was coming in, the light was coming in more on the back. Who's that Pokemon? It's Electrode. It totally is. Hey, it's Electrode. If you were to have the light coming from the top, and it's not exactly straight on, dead on, you know, from exactly the top, but it's a little bit back there. It's a little bit back there, you know? You pushing it back a little. Your light is going to crescent a little bit, and you're going to have a lot more shadow. So we're going to go ahead and color that in there, as you can see. Man, I would love to draw Pokemon from memory at some point too. I'm a huge dragon. No, I'm a huge Pokemon fanatic, and I always have been, and I very likely always will be, and that is never gonna change or stop. Ditto. Good one. Hell yeah. Good one. Favorite Pokemon? Go! It's Pokemon. It's Pokemon Picto, you know, with an accent. So then you would have more shadow on the top. And there'd be a curve. You can see the curve there. That's how you know. I'm having too much fun with this, as you can plainly see. And then, if you wanted to have your light source coming from kind of the top, facing a little bit like this, say it's probably about there, your shadow is going to be kind of beaten back a little bit, much like this. And let's go ahead and draw in that shadow to show you how that will look. Boom. Crushing it. There it is. Not the bon. Boom. Not that there's anything wrong with bonds. Okay. There we go. I don't know why we suddenly started rotating with this thing. Is that what I've always been doing? No, I'm pretty sure I had it set to... Oh, my stupid hand touched it. Okay. There we go. So now you can see kind of how the lighting is supposed to work. Now, using this rule, we can begin to kind of start shading. But first we have to know where our light source is, and we have to think about where it's at all times. So, where do we want our light source? Maybe we want our light source to be kind of back here. Like this. We want to choose maybe this one. You know, but not quite as strongly. So maybe our light source is right here. Ta-da! So then what we can do, the wonderful thing with using digital projects to do this is that you can straight up spot black with like a lasso fill if you so desired to do so, and that would probably look okay. You know, something like that. But I wouldn't recommend it. And that's because when you have lines such as these ones here, you kind of want to show that they're there to an extent. And you can do that by kind of adding like a little space between where you're going to be making the spot black and where that point is located. And then you can use these big, bold lines, very confident, swishing lines to kind of, you know, draw that in. There we go. And then you want to fill it in. Again, having Control Z is the best. It's fantastic to have it. And then, let's see, how do we want to do this? I'm not sure why I started here, but it's fine. Whenever you have like a line and you don't want to draw on top of it, you can just give it a little feathering here, so that whenever you have a line and you don't want to see this is kind of what happens if you don't like put in that little white line there. It just kind of all bleeds together in a way. And you don't always want that. It's also nice to do little hatching. Throw in a little hatching. That's what those little lines are. It's called hatching. I'm sure you are probably aware of that, and that kind of adds to like soften the spot blacks. There we go. That looks nice, doesn't it? Wait, shoot. Where's our light? There it is. Okay, good. We're good. There we go. See, it's looking nice already. And then maybe you have a little bit of light that's kind of in the front, and you can kind of follow along that line there, your drawing line. And create these soft spot blacks like this. And then you just fill it in, keeping in mind, you know, if it doesn't feel like enough, it's starting to look kind of metallic. I'm gonna throw in some hatching here. You know, the cool thing about spot blacks is that they add a lot of depth, and they add a lot of strength to whatever you're drawing. It makes it look like a lot stronger, you know. They're very good at adding passion, where you can add much depth and weight to your art by just coloring. Look at that. Like, you can even... The wonderful thing about this brush is that there's definitely layers to how dark it is. It almost looks like it was traditional. That's what I like about some of these brushes, is they just, you know, they don't force you to be completely to go completely into it. They give you a little leniency, which is nice. Let's move on to the clothing. Add a little line here. It can be like a soft line, but we do need to know that, you know, you can add a little white lines, even though that's not really there. They're helpful for your brain to distinguish between, you know, where the shadows are stopping and where your body is starting, and, you know, where that line is. Really, it's kind of helpful for your brain to detect it. And you don't want to miss out on that. So like here, you can kind of like guide it. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means. Your shadows can go pretty hard. Okay, let's add some nice deep shadows for this cloth here. Why not? You know, why not? Why wouldn't we do it? Another thing you can do is, like, with spot black, there's no best way to do it. You can get a little crazy if you want to, absolutely. Do it your way. That's what's great about art, is there's no one way to do anything. It's all style based, you know? That's what's great about art. You can do whatever the hell you want. And you can absolutely blob it if you want to, but, you know, the thing about art is that where there's the most detail and highest contrast is where your eyes are going to lead to. So if you want to look at that place, certainly go crazy, go detailed. But if not, then, like, you can remove some of that contrast. You can absolutely remove some of that contrast, like this. And I might have added detail there, but you get what I mean. Nice big lines to go hard. Okay, now I'm just gonna draw like a nice line here. There we go. And that's just gonna be solid here. Oh, I love it. I love the way it's shaping up. Keep an eye on where your light source is supposed to be. For us, it's coming from the bottom this way. So things like this might kind of get lost underneath the hands. That's okay. You just want to make sure that you have that line there too, guiding where those items are. And then just, you know, turning it into feathered, confident little lines to showcase that you know this is gradiating back into the light, just like that. You know, something like this would probably take a while if I wanted to do like the whole thing. I'm gonna try and like rush it a little here just to kind of, it doesn't have to be perfect since this is just showcasing. But yeah, I think you guys get the idea. Like I can just keep going forever. Whee! Just adding these big, beautiful lines. Big, beautiful, thick blobs of black here to display where this stuff is going. And notice I haven't really used any Control-Z-ing at all. That's because like my brain is tricked right now into thinking I'm using an actual pen, so I love tricking my brain like that. I very rarely use Control-Z at all. I should actually probably use it once in a while. I feel like I fall into the trap though of feeling like I need it all the time if I do that though. And then you can kind of like, whenever you have a shadow, you can really just like go heavy on that shadow. And it just looks so beautiful. And you always want to make sure everything is kind of like turned towards. You want to always be watching where your light source is, so that like if, you know, let's do the pants. Let's skip over the vest entirely and do the pants. Because I want to show you something. I want to show you these bends, these beautiful bends. First, I'm going to kind of show you guys where I think the black shadows are gonna kind of end up. It's gonna come around here, and then we're gonna kind of drop into this. We're gonna drop into this fold, and then we're gonna come around here, and we're gonna drop into this fold, and then we're gonna come up. This is basically just a big circle. You gotta think about it like, what kind of circle am I looking at here? And this is going to be kind of blocked here, so you might actually have some feathering across this area here, and all of this area is going to be black as well. And then all of this, none of this is really getting hit by any light, so you're gonna have to go around these folds here, and then it's gonna come down and it's gonna meet up with this. But I think you're gonna have some softer light throughout this spot here. And then all of this is going to be mostly black, save for some of the light reflecting off of here. Another great thing you can do if you're using colors is kind of add some reflective lights to highlight. That really adds some lovely taste to the whole thing. Now I'm going to ride this line all the way up and ride this line down so we know where those are, where they're stopping and starting. And then I'm just going to black this all out. I'm gonna chunk black it. Goodbye, balls. They're getting lost. Sorry, testicles. Goodbyes, more like. Rip. There we go. Add some of that. Oops, I want them all to be the same. Oopsie. You saw me Control-Z a little. It's the only time you'll ever see it. So. Yeah. And then I can just add these. Again, we can really kind of, oops. Put in these big black blobs here, save for where there's, you know. Oh, was I gonna put it here? Oh, I think I was. Okay. Even so, that works. So far, so good, right? You gotta, every once in a while, this is important. Every once in a while, you gotta back up a little bit and look at the hole and see how it all fits together. You also want to make sure that there's no weird spots that are getting, you know, lost in all of it. You want to make sure that, you know, things are separating correctly. It also helps you kind of find mistakes. Like, say, over here, maybe I wanted to kind of have this hand just a little more obvious like this, you know? Or maybe I wanted to throw in a line here or there. But, yeah, something like that. Stormy is being an art menace. Oh no. Bad kitty. That's a cat, right? There we go. Oop, whoopsie. What have I done? Okay, there we go. Fixed. Yeah, that's what you named the new kitten? Oh, precious baby kitty. Precious baby kitty. Add some hatching here. Nice big dark shadow there. Yeah. There we go. Kind of reaching in. It's fine to like go around and like hit different spots, you know. You want to make sure that it's you're doing it all pretty equally. Another thing you can do is, you know, follow. You could either follow the light source's direction for your shading, or you could follow the bends, like this. I think I already goofed that up over here. Now, I don't mind one way or the other, but sometimes I find it good to do both. I don't know. Probably best to stick to one, though. There we go. Add our little detail lines in there. Generally, if you were doing traditional, you would want to use a different type of brush to do those lines, but luckily for us, we have a beautiful, wonderful digital brush that handles everything perfectly, insanely. There we go. Throw that in there. And now let's just cheat a little and grab our spot blacking bucket. Oh yeah. The beauty. The beauty. It's gorgeous. I don't believe there would be any lighting on the back of the rump there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and annihilate it. Trying to put in powerful single swipes of the brush. Okay, there we go. Just good focused swipes, you know? There we go. Alright, that looks lovely. I don't know how we're feeling with that, but that's kind of one way to do it, you know? I don't know if that's kind of coming through or not. Does anybody have any questions on how that works and how you can do that? You know? I don't know if I'm particularly gonna get the whole thing done today, but it's still a fun little test. Also a game I wanted to try to open up called like Spa Kittens. There's spa animals. It's like a cheap little What do you call those kind of games? There we go. Oh yeah, it comes all the way down here. Nah, this is working for me. It might be using this after I finish the sketch. You should! You should! It's so much fun. It looks so good to try it and do it, and it just makes you feel so confident to see it all come together too. Like honestly, it's just so fucking good. Especially when you do it like in real life art, you're just like, wow, I'm actually like a genius. like literally me every time. Like, wow, am I actually just a genius at art? Wow. You know? Like I might be. Wow. And you just, you know, just spot in those blacks until, you know, they just look good. I don't know. Just follow the lighting. It looks really cool. It'll just look really cool, and you'll feel blown away that you are capable of such amazing powers. You know? Let's add the spot here. Oopsie. We made an oopsie. We got rid of it. It's all good. Okay. We'll add in this. And then I suddenly get quiet when I forget that I'm supposed to talk. There we go. There we go. We see how we went around the bend of the beautiful necklace. And you can absolutely like add thicker lines and conjoin some of those lines so that, you know, maybe you do want to have a couple of things. Oh, thank you for the lurk. Do some work. That's fine with me. Totally fine. Yeah, you should definitely try this style. It's really fun. I would recommend it. Yeah. Every time I try one, every time I do a little tutorial here or there, I just like, I'm blown away by my ability to do so. Like, who knew it could be this easy, right? It's literally this easy. Just, you know, find your, you just find your light source, where it's gonna be, and you just go for it. And it just all works out somehow. I don't know how it does it. Like, even if it's bad, it's probably gonna look good. You know what I mean? Even if you don't get it exactly right, it's probably still gonna look pretty cool. Just saying, it's probably gonna still look kind of sweet. I think I gumped it. I think I went a little too excessive on this. That's fine. There we go. Have that come up. It looks cool. Looks pretty cool. There we go. It all kind of bleeds together, but it's, you know, it's not really, you know, the point. What you're supposed to see is the lights, where the lights are illuminating. And in this case, you can really add some real value to where your eyes are supposed to look. I'm gonna try and see if I can do this face justice to try to like give it some real nice intrigue here. I'll keep that. Yeah, this sketch is for 3 characters, but all have yellow eyes, and so the monocolor with spot black shading and only adding color to the eyes should look amazing. You should! Absolutely. Go for it. Monocolor's fun too, though, like for real. Monocolor is super fun. Like, what would this look like if I went hard on this? Ooh, honestly, pretty cool. Pretty cool, honestly. That actually looks really good. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. Add a little detail there, make him look a little angrier. I like it, I like it. It's nice. Makes him look mean. It's beautiful. And then if you want the hair to look dark, but you want it to be, if you want like dark hair, like black, you know, you want the black hair, but you're afraid that making the whole thing black is gonna look crappy. Well, first of all, you definitely don't want to, you know, do something like this, because that's gonna look bad. What you can do is following each strand, each like puff of hair, you know, going along the curvature of the hair. You can kind of add these without touching the lines, because you want to keep all of your lines distinguished. And also keeping in mind where your light source is, always, you can create some beautiful swishes. I laugh, but like it's real. Some beautiful swishes, like back and forth swishes, kind of around the shapes here. And then at the top up here, you can add some more, and they'll kind of come together. And we don't want to hit this line because I want the line to be visible. But yeah, you can just kind of draw the color in with the blacks. Where the color would be. Keeping in mind where your light source is always, and where those separate lines are stopping and starting, you know? It gives this beautiful shiny effect. See that? That's an excellent way that you can color dark hair without losing that direction and that lighting. And if the hair is a certain color and you're going to use a color in your work, wherever there is like right here, you know, where you have this gradient, you can add a little bit of that color there. So let's say, you know, we have a keef. Let's say we wanted to add like a multiply layer on top of that with like a little bit of maybe a nice round watercolor brush on there. You know, you could just add in a little bit of watercolor in some of those spots to kind of add that, hey, this is, you know, this is blue. You could throw in like highlights if you so desired in some of those spots. I'm using the wrong color or the wrong brush for highlights, of course, but also remembering how light is supposed to work. Oh, light's easy though. Light's pretty easy. Like, look up here. Back to this. Back over here. The light is just where the white is, you know? It's just where the white is. So... Oops. Okay, here. So add a layer underneath that. Like, literally, the light is just here, and up here, and up here. Wherever there's no black, wherever this black area, because the black is obviously the shadow, and everything else is white. So something like this, you know, your shadows are going to be on the bottom, and your lights are going to be, oops, I chunked it on the wrong spot. Like here. And all of this is probably going to be pretty white. And then you're going to have white here and here. And all of this is going to be, you know, basically white. It's the opposite of where the shadows are. That's all. Oh. Posture. What? What's that? I've never heard of a posture. But yeah, like you can kind of guess where your light sources are going to be because it's going to be the exact opposite spots, you know, of where your darks are going to be. And you can kind of chunk out where those are going to be as well. Like that. Like that's already starting to kind of show. It's more like the reflective light and how the human body curves. Okay, well, say you have a blue light over here. Well, that reflective light, like you can show that on your curve like this. With maybe just a little bit of... Why isn't it letting me? Stupid thing. Come on. Like that, you know, just throw it in there. I think the main problem is you just gotta be brave. Just gotta let it happen. What posture check? I thought I saw a posture check. I don't know, I guess I'm going crazy, Antar. Welcome, how are you doing? We're working on some art over here. Well, not for any particular reason, just a little tutorial for funsies. Just because it's fun. Because I thought, you know, my community could use some art TLC care, you know. You can just throw those lights in there wherever. It's not a big deal. Like, if there's, you know, wherever there's light, just you can use different filters, obviously, if you wanted to. You can use intensity, you could use different, what do you call those? Layer abilities. Like you've got multiply, darken, screen, overlay is a good one. Soft light's a fun one. Let's see. Some of them don't work with black, so you gotta like kind of piece out which ones look good with what. And that's fine too. Sometimes you can throw in an entire reference texture. Cool art, by the way. How are you today? I'm awesome. I'm a little sick, but it's no big deal. I'm working through it. So depending on where your light source is, like that's all you gotta really know about is, that's all you gotta really worry about. Oh, I guess I'm not having, I guess we're on screen layer and that's why that's doing that. There we go. I usually use multiply for shading. Yeah, and that's totally fine. Like, it's a great way to make sure that all of your shading is more or less on the same, like it kind of combines it all. It multiplies it. Okay, well, but it helps to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like sync up everything, all the colors together. I'm having a hard time like articulating what exactly that does, but unify? I think unify is a good way to put it. Art class from Picto! Yay! I'm glad I can help. We're practicing spot blacks today. I thought it would be cool to show off how it works, why we do it, what it looks like when you do it. It's fun, it's exciting, it's educational. Maybe we remove the white ones. I don't know. What are we thinking here? Let's get rid of all those white blobs I just put everywhere. We don't really need those everywhere. They were more of an example of, oops, I hit Control Z. I just removed my entire selection. Okay, and X. Wait, are we on the wrong layer? We are. There we are. Anyway, this cake is great. Is this the right one? What was I coloring on? This one. Where's my brush? I lost it! I think we were using soft paint pen, right? Or were we using this Japanese one? Maybe we were using the Japanese brush. It darkens the color consistently. If you don't want to darken the color, you can try overlay. That's a fun one. Like, it's a good idea to experiment with each one of them and what it does to the colors. Here, I'll open... Sure, this one. And we'll look and see what the colors do if I do... Let's see here. If we were to add a blue square over top of this on a separate layer. Okay. So here it is darken. Darken's great. It like unifies all the colors, but it makes them a lot darker so it looks more like nighttime, and this is a great way to kind of like do a nighttime scene, and then you can just kind of select out the spots that you want to be daytime. See, watch. Boom. Boom, that's where the light is. That's where the light is. It's also a great way to practice like where your lighting should be. It's a great way to practice. I would recommend it. But yeah, I could play that game all day, you know? It's fun for me. It feels good. It feels really good to do it. Ta-da. See, look at that. It's beautiful. And then you can change the opacity so that it's like, it doesn't have to blend in like super duper much. So that's darken. Multiply is the one you said you usually use, which is fine too. Color burn changes the color in it. Linear burn. I like linear burn. I think it's a pretty fun tool. But subtract, that looks very glowy. I love it. Here it is without it, and here it is with it. It really adds. Too much is too much, but that's why we have opacity, and changing the opacity can really, you know, really help out a filter layer. It can really make a big difference. So lighting's great if you have like harsh lighting. You can open up a texture, and this can do some cool things. Say you wanted to pretend you were doing an art on, say, like a watercolor, and you wanted it to look kind of legit. Well, you could take a scan of a texture, and you can copy that, and back to Keith. Paste that in there. Control T to transform. It's huge, wow. Generally you want to have bigger paper. You want to have better references, but this is just as a tutorial. I can hold down the control button to, here, I'll show you if I can. Nope, it's not showing you. Right here? Okay, good. Yeah, see, it changes it when I hit control over this. It goes from just, you know, changing the size, and then when I hold control, I can just change the one side. That makes my life easy. So we can change each of these sides specifically to the width and height of our canvas and hit OK. Boom. Now, it's huge, so this might take a while for some of you if you're on a big canvas. It's huge, wow, yeah. If it's on a big canvas, this is probably gonna be quite the ask for your PC. So you can see how that's gonna look, you know? If you put it as the top layer, you're going to be affecting all your layers underneath it. So this is the darken, but our blacks are already black. They don't need darkening. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Multiply. This is color burn. The color in this, you know, is going to be, there's not really any color to affect except for, like, you can see it up here. You can see where it's, well, that might just be the brush actually, now that I think about it. Here you can see the effect with linear. Subtract, it takes it all away. Lighting, screen. You can also change the opacity. And then you can, wow, then you can really start to see in some of these, in the blacks, it adds a texture only to the blacks, which is quite interesting and kind of peak sometimes. But yeah, it's great to play around with. These filters are not just good for, you know, adding multiply colors and adding shadows. You can actually do a lot with these layers and adding textures to things. Something I find is really fun to do is just like take a texture of a sample watercolor. I'll show you one of them, like something like this. I'll just take something like this, and you know, just select that shit. God, yeah. It feels really naughty for some reason to show you this, like I'm giving you my secrets. And then you can slap that bitch right over top. Maybe change the opacity just a little bit. And boom, look at that. Beauty. Beautiful. Quite the hack. Remove that one and we'll see how that... Ooh, look at those colors. Requesting a Villy bonk. Why would you do that? BRB gotta do doggo care and wake a Villy. That's why the bonk. Okay, I get it now. I get it. So you might want them to be a little subtle. Gosh, look how that looks though. That's kind of cool. It's pretty cool actually. It reminds me of like a holographic card. I mean, you certainly could animate it to look like a holographic card using some of these techniques. This one's pretty nice. It's really subtle. The hard light. Oh, look at that. That's really cool. So, absolutely super fun to play around with these and test out what they all do. Vivid light looks pretty cool. It's a little different, but it's still very fun. Linear light. Pin light's a really good one for stuff like this. A big proponent for pin light myself. Ugh, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. I don't know how it works. It's magic in my eyes. Certainly you can find like tutorials on each of these online, on each of these layers and how to use them, but like I find them super fun to play with just on my own without knowing, you know, a ton about it already. Where was I? We were coloring the hair. We were coloring that beautiful, glorious hair with our swishy swish technique. Adding those dark spotted blacks wherever we need them. It's still pretty fun to do. So, like, even just like this selection it's just gorgeous, right? It's just gorgeous. So, I'm in love with it. It looks so good. So yeah, that's spot blacks. Something I've kind of realized over time being a strummer. It's like as you're streaming day to day, you start to realize like what works and what doesn't work and what you want to do. And then like sometimes I feel like what I'm doing is cringe. And then I'm like, oh, am I a cringe tuber? Is this what I do? And then you have to think about it. You have to sit back and you have to think, well, okay, what is cringe? Where did this word come from? What does it mean? And what does it mean for me if I own this word? So cringe has only been like used as a slang in this way for like maybe like a couple of years now. I feel like it's really taken over in the culture. There's cringe tubers and, you know, cringe streamers, and it's kind of all over the place, but I don't know if I even can consider myself cringe at this point. Cringe is a word made by people who fear themselves. Exactly! You've got right to the point with my thought. My point here is that like Well, I was listening to a stream, another streamer talk about it, and it really resonated with me that, yeah, people who say things are cringe or don't do things because they're cringe are just letting fear guide them. I don't think that's healthy. I think it's a way better idea to just break through the fear, honestly. Just do it anyway. Don't let a little word like, oh, this is cringe, drive you away from something that you want to do. I recommend anytime you're like, oh, this might be cringe, instead rebrand that, relabel that word. Relabel that word in your head as passion, or maybe something similar to that, you know, like, oh, this isn't cringe. I can't call it that. We have to reassess and relabel because we are identifying ourselves with this word. If you're identifying yourself with it, I think it's not good for you. I feel like calling yourself cringe kind of calls yourself a defeatist in a way. Don't you think so? Passion? I would never be passionate, right? But that's just like the nature of the game. At least in streaming, I've noticed well, not you, but like most of us generally, as a technicality, you know, you don't want to be afraid of what you're doing. You don't want to be afraid to try new things. You want to be running it through your passion. You want to be, you know, pushing through with all of your love for the work and your creativity and like what drives you. You want to take what drives you to kind of push on. Yeah. And if you're, you know, labeling yourself, that's like a one-way ticket to defeatist land, in my opinion. If you're labeling yourself as, you know, a cringe tuber, you're like basically saying, well, if I'm going to be cringe and I'm going to own it, then I'm just going to be, you know, afraid of everything that I'm doing. Like maybe it would be too cringe to do this, or too cringe to, you know, stream a certain way, or to try a certain game, or to say a certain topic, or to talk about something. And then you just start to really limit yourself. And that's not healthy. That's really not healthy. Most people's target of ridicule tend to be people whose personal sphere of videos and art get shared to an audience beyond its intended. Yeah, that's true too. For my streams, I feel like I want to go, I don't want to label myself as a cringe tuber. I know I had that thought for a little while. You know, whenever you think about like, oh, I want to make music, or I want to sing, I want to learn how to draw, you know, like this, or I want to, I don't know, dance. You don't want to be afraid to do any of those beautiful things to express yourself. Or, you know, even if you don't want to just do them to express yourself, if you want to do them, you know, as a full-time job or a hobby, you don't want to label yourself as cringe. It's not cringe to try new things. It's not. It's super important to break out of your comfort zone and, you know, try new things once in a while. You might, you know, remove yourself from a certain sphere and meet new different types of people that might, you know, change the way you think, and that's not a bad thing either. You want to have more than one perspective. Are we on Castlevania music now? Is that what you're telling me? It shouldn't be. No, we're still relaxing RuneScape tunes by the look of it. Castlevania? I'm confused. Or are you telling me that this looks like Castlevania art? Which it kind of does. I can see it. I can totally see it. He kind of looks like he's become a vampire. The style, it is a little Castlevania, isn't it? It's like a little grungy. It's cool. I like it. I think it looks really good. Yeah, we can go really hard on these with creating these horns. We can have some real fun with them to really give them the details that make dragon horns look so cool and eerie, you know? You can really have some fun just like with the lines and the curvatures and the lighting. You can go really ham on the lighting if you wanted to, you know? Just adding tons and tons of different details and line widths. Like that. You know? Look at that! It's beautiful! Just adding that. It's beautiful. I don't know. It's really fun. It's really fun for me. It's really fun. I live for this. That's why I'm here. Flooful melt. Yeah, probably. This is definitely an extra I wasn't paid for, but like, boy, is this just the perfect candidate for experimentation of the artistic caliber, you know? You can add like some other details in there while you're working, you know, if you find something that you think fits, go for it, throw it in, whatever. It could be fun. It could be fun. But you want to have confidence in your lines, you know. Each little line is just like a little swish. You don't want to take too much time on them. You don't want to think about your lines too much. That's important. You know? You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have like lines that are too scriggly or too thought about. Gosh, even my bad lines look good. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to show you bad lines and I'm failing. Heck. Okay, I could just keep going with this, I guess. I might as well, right? It's looking pretty nice. Look at that. That just adds like this. It just looks kind of 3D. Like you can almost see through it a little bit. I'm just having too much fun with it, I think. Just a little bit way too much fun with it. Look at that. Is that not glory? 'Tis glorious. Oh, maybe I wanted to add that to be a little bit more 3D, three-dimensional on that side. Oh, I want to just play RuneScape. Why'd I do this to myself? Why? Why? Why do I do things? Yeah, just add some texture. There we go. These nice, beautiful lines add so much texture, and they're beautiful, and they just look good, and they feel good. I don't know. Going crazy. What else can I do here? Add some nice lines here and there. Why not? Add some nice texturing there. Another thing I'm doing a lot is I'll have two lines that are here. I'll do it again so you can watch this time. I'll have two lines that kind of crisscross each other like this, right? These two lines that crisscross each other here like this. So what I'll do is sometimes it helps to grab your shadow and just like pull it into the other line like that. See how I do that? And then just color that in. And I don't know, for some reason rounding out those edges just looks nice. It just looks tasteful. Here's another one where this part of the, what do we call this thing? A tie is kind of crossing across what appears to be a shirt, I think. I'm too close up to it to really have an idea. Yeah, that's a shirt. Okay, I see now. This is the tie part. Okay. And this must be the pectoral muscle, the bottom of the pec. So, I think that's what that is supposed to be. Looks kind of strange from there. I don't know. Maybe I'm going crazy. But yeah. I'll just drag it in. Just drag it in and round it out. I don't know, it just looks nice. It just looks nice to try it. So here, I'm gonna have a shadow here, but I don't want this to look like it's a part of the necktie, so I'm going to cut it short right about here. maybe add another line here. And you back up and you can see, yeah, that's disconnected. So you can tell that this shadow line stops here. And that's important for like being able to read the shadows and how they look. There we go. So beautiful. Spot blacks. They're so fun. Everybody should try them because they're so easy to do. You are wasting potential. Just do it. It's fun. I promise. It's fun. Look how easy it is. Just swish, swish, swish. We're swishing. Look at that. It's glorious. It's beautiful. Mia, welcome. Hey there. What you arting? Oh, you know, just the arting. Swish, swish. Yes, exactly. Swish tail. So this, we're doing a little practice arting. This is a tutorial for spot blacks. Spot blacks are when you have these very heavy areas of shadow in your art, and it adds a very, like passionate, dynamic. What would you say? Just a really deep. It just looks fucking cool, okay? Very, very comic art, you know, very, very, I keep saying very, it's not very explanatory. I'm gushing, but, it just adds a certain dynamic feel to the art. It adds weight. It adds dynamicism. And it's super easy and fun. I gave an explanation, but I can kind of go over some of it again. I've also added in a background filter here. It's at the top, actually. I used a hard mix because I was playing around. Woo! That looks crazy. Over here, I have not done the vest yet. As I was saying, our lighting is coming in from basically the top back-ish area. The top back-ish area. So, most of our lights, save for like the face, because I was getting a little greedy with the face here. I wanted there to be more face than shadow. Otherwise, it would be like, you know, all this would be black, and that just I don't think that would look as good. Certainly, it's doable, but nah, right? But nah. Don't have to. Not gonna do it anyway then. So what you can do is you use these beautiful swishing brush movements here to kind of, or you can kind of use a very light line to kind of guide where your shadows are gonna go. For me, I know that this is all gonna be very dark. This is gonna be dark, following along with these bumps, and then I'm gonna kind of meet where the pants meet, but I'm not going to touch it. I'm gonna stop right there, going to create a line here that I'm gonna follow along, because this is gonna help assist us, our eye at least. I know this line's not literally here, but it's going to assist us in finding that, and our brains are going to be like, oh yeah, that's where the line is. That's where the pants stop and the shirt starts. So we can blot all that in very confidently. Nice big confident swishing lines is what you want. You can kind of shape these shadows however you like them. Whatever feels right to you. You know, if you want to add a little bit of texture, a little leafing, go for it. Go nuts. Go ham. If you wanted to add like some additional shadows to kind of show like, oh, this is cloth bending, you can do that. It's all good. It's all good. It's beautiful. And then we'll bring it right back up and connect it all right back. If you want it to look cleaner, go for it. If you want to black it out into like larger blocks, go for it. Like, it's all about the style. There's no real rule to this. It's all about the style. However you wanted to get it done. It'll look beautiful no matter what, because no matter how you do it, your soul's gonna shine through. There we go. Where's our buttons? Okay. Our buttons are gonna have shadows too. Kinda globbed that one a little hard. If you know what I'm saying, ladies. There we go. Adding that shadow behind the button. Yeah, looks lovely. I'm gonna add this beautiful shadow with another one of these little joining kind of webbing almost. Like I'm just webbing it in, rounding it out. I think it looks tasteful. Rounding it out. I think it looks very tasteful that way. Just like that. And then you can add these little feathery lines are hatching. It's called hatching when you do that. What's my hand dragging over? Just a big piece of paper you're hearing. You know exactly what I mean? Perfect! If you know what I mean. Exactly what you mean. Like, feel free to throw in some little details that are just fun. Just little fun little details, you know? Go nuts. Go nuts. Have at. So now we have a lot more done. If you wanted to, you can go back through and kind of shape things differently. Like if you wanted this to maybe look a little thinner, you could certainly shape your shadows so that it accomplishes that look, you know, by thinning some and maybe creeping up your shadows to a certain degree. Another thing I sometimes do is my back will have like a little bit of backlight to it. Ugh, I burped. Excuse me. This area here is going to be kind of... We might want some blocking here. So I'll add some up to this point right here, and then we'll stop it right there. Even though there's no light here, I want this crease to stay put. So we're going to go around the crease. The light. I want it to stay put. A nice big dark line going all the way across there. I'm gonna spot that whole thing to here. And then maybe just some gentle gradiating hatching coming up this way. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful work. Here you have it. As someone who's still an art baby, this is wild to watch. Let me fill you in on how I know exactly how you feel. So, I know jack shit about music theory. And, when I found Arcan's work, Arcan sometimes streams his music, and just watching him work, I'm flabbergasted by how fast and efficient he is and how he just seems to know how everything works and what it's gonna sound like. And that's gotta feel crazy to like watch me work and just like, how does she know where that line's going? You know, how does she know how thick her brush is gonna be, or what brushes do what, or where the legs go, or, you know, the poses? How does she know it all? You know, it's about training. It's about mastering the craft by practicing it for years and years. Like, I'm scared. If I wanted to get to the level that he is at with composing music, I would, like, just looking at his background, he's this like orchestra and he went to college, it was his minor, and like I was listening to him during a stream talk about like what he's done before, and I'm like, oh my god, he's actually got such a background in music. I had no idea. No wonder he's so fast and efficient. He could be doing this for like a degree program. It's insane. I'm so jealous. But it's like I look at my music, or my art rather, and I'm like, wow, actually, like, this is pretty one-to-one here, talent-wise. I could have definitely gone to school for art. It kind of looks like it anyway. But when it makes me have a better perspective, people looking at my art. So like, yeah, it is pretty overwhelming. It can be. But I don't want to discourage anybody either. Like, just because I have a background doesn't mean that nobody can get to this point. Because it took me so long because I was just drawing Pokemon the whole time. If you know, if you use the references and tutorials, you can get there way faster than me, I promise. Way, way, way faster. It's doable. It's way doable. You just have to not screw around on entervoid.com drawing comics for people. You just have to not draw Pokemon 24 hours a day. Probably. Well, maybe that did help me in certain ways, but I was definitely training for the wrong thing. Art is attainable. Don't let her Dragon Mom persona fool you. She's a pro, but persona? What do you mean? This is what I am. I am a dragon. Through and through. 100% never been human once in my life. Yeah, no, these are essential things you do. Yeah, it's very essential. Which part? Yeah, it all takes time and dedication. That's definitely, that should be the takeaway. That should be the takeaway. Don't give up. Never surrender. I think that was a reference to a movie. There we go. That looks beautiful. I'm gonna give it a little... Oh boy, that does not look good. Try again! If at first you don't succeed, do over! I just want this to look nice. There we go. I might be getting a little lazy with it, because it's whatever. It's just a leg, guys. Pokemon, oh yeah. Polemon and Embervoid. Yeah, I have layers. We all have layers. They peel back like an onion. I do have layers. But I'm still a dragon. Dragon this ass. Wow. Had a little lighting here. Like, see, that's probably something you wouldn't think to do, I guess. But I'm just thinking of where, like, our lighting is. Oh, I guess our lighting wouldn't have much going on here either, would it? So maybe we would have, like, some loss here and there of light. Across here, maybe. We'd have more light on this tip here, but we'd probably lose it. We'd probably lose it on the side of the shoe, and definitely under the shoe would be non-existent light territory, unless we had like some kind of backlight situation. Something that has helped me not get discouraged with my drawing progress is realizing that I don't have to learn to draw just for memory or imagination, that I can use references, and that helps a lot. Exactly! Oh my god, use references! I used a reference for those boots. Certainly it helps to have like the practice of knowing how a foot works and where the shoes go. The boots in question were just like, that's all I had to work with. So I'm like, okay, I gotta figure out how this goes to that. So that takes time. That's the part that takes time. Learning how to draw the boots themselves, like that's just references, baby girl. That's just tutorials. Granted, you should always go back to the basics to refresh once in a while. Absolutely want to remember how foot works and maybe study up on perspective and dynamic poses every once in a while. And that is, I guess, segueing to my next art stream. My next art stream, I'd like to work a little bit with dynamic poses and motion and force and like fluidity with a pose. Yeah, like shapes. It's gonna be I have to read up on the book a little bit more, but I got a couple of books about this topic, about like shapes of the body and force, and like how oh, it's really hard to explain it right now, but I'll explain it a lot better once I learn up on it a lot more. Like I can vaguely tell you about this now, but I'm not confident enough to like teach it just yet, so give me like a week. Certainly you could probably push this part a little bit more. Certainly. A little bit more. I feel like this could be a little more dark. But yeah, at this point I'm just... Alright. I had this line in here. This nice, big, beautiful, strong, powerful adjective line. And then we'll bring it back up. We're going solid. Rock hard. Penis and mouth solid. Okay. How would we do this? Let's see. I am rock solid right now. I'm diamonds for this art. Gonna ask a drill sergeant how they shot rockets into space? Not his department. Yeah, exactly. More often than not, man. It's gonna not be their department, and they're gonna question why they chose this career. God, I miss RuneScape. I want to play RuneScape so bad. One of these days, we gotta do like can we do like a stream where we all play RuneScape together? I should have like a Discord group. That'd be sick. Like that's the main thing that puts me off of RuneScape, is I have no one to play with. And I don't feel like it's worth it to play by yourself. Like, what's the point of playing RuneScape if you have no one to share the story and the grind with, you know? It's just not fun that way. You're down? Really? Hell yeah. I hope so. Because I don't want to pay the money. I've been like in and out of it. I'll play for like a month, get the cat again, and then drop out, and then lose the cat. Because that's how they get you. They're like, oh, you got your cat. And I'm like, yep, I got my cat. And then I'm like, oh, life's happening. I have to go. And then your cat's just gone. You have to go get your cat back. And then once you do all that Agatha quest again, you know, come back. The cat's gone again. What do you do? You're not supposed to leave. That's what you do. You're not supposed to leave. That's how they get you. Right. Look at that spot blacking. It's beautiful. Hold up, since when do you have to pay to play RuneScape? Oh, you see the content that I like to play with the cat. It's all locked behind the subscription, which has increased in price threefold since ye old bad days of $5 subscription. No, it's like $13, $14 for a subscription for RuneScape Classic now, which is painful to my poor soul, who's like, what do you mean? That's how much a World of Warcraft subscription is supposed to be. And nope. Nope. Now that's just the meta. Sag. It's quite sad. That is wild, isn't it? Isn't that terrible? Remember when a RuneScape membership was $5? It was $4.99. It was. I will die on this hill. That RuneScape should have never went up. Okay, come on, guys. Come on. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? It's not fair. But I get it. I get why they do it. It just hurts us financially. It hurts my soul. But like, I don't know. I don't know why I keep wanting to play it. Like, every time I think about it, I miss it so bad. But then I'll play it for like a couple of days and I'm like, wow, I'm bored already because there's nobody to share this with. Nobody wants to play with me. Makes me sad. Here we go. Look at that. Gorgeous! Some more spot blacks up here. Here. There we go. Oh! So pretty! And then I guess we could throw some in here. Stopping at the boot, right where it begins. I'm rushing like a mad woman at this point, just trying to get the work done. There we go. Get that in there. Get that in there. Come on, you. My hands are gonna hurt. It almost looks better when I rush it. Because then my lazy lines look like they're being highlights. Even if I wasn't paying for it, I'd still have a blash. Blah. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to like start out a run without paying for the subscription and just play like the base game, that's fun too. Like, I've done that before a few times. Then I always get sad that I can't use my cat, and I'm like, well, and then I get really sad that I don't have like the space. I'm like, I need all that bank space. Where'd all that go? Like, you get, if you ever take the subscription, it spoils you. It's really spoiling. Because you get used to that, all that space, and having potions, and, you know, having a house, and being able to, like, use teleports, and, you just get used to it. And it just becomes, like, a habit. And you're like, well, then where's all that? Where did all that go? I need it back. And then I inevitably buy it. And then I stop playing. There we go. That's a boot. That's a boot. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I got it. Just big blotchy lines here and there to kind of show where it's supposed to be, while still trying to hold some of that texture together of the shoes snakeskin appearance. Just trying to like blot it in here. How do we want to do this? Yeah, that's probably good. And then where would this be? Here? Whoa! I didn't mean to grab that. Okay. I goofed it. There we go. Nope. Nope. Yes. Something like that. Yeah, alright. Good enough. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. Boat! Ah, what time is it? 101? I'm running out of time now. I'm really running out of time now. I don't want this to look too lazy, so I should probably raid out. And I should probably make a Discord section for anybody interested in having a RuneScape group. That'd be super fun. I'm dying to play again. Man, that'd be fun to stream. That'd be really fun to stream Primal Rage. Can you stream that? Like, is that a game you can actually play on stream, I wonder? It'd require like a you'd have to get it on a, what's the word? Like a mod thingy? That'd be fun. I used to play Diablo, I think his name was. The red dinosaur. Sauron was great too, but like I was one of those based hotfoot players that I couldn't get enough of it. I found the basilisk to be way too overwhelming and powerful and kind of scary, honestly, because I was like, what, 5? No, maybe not 5, but I was like pretty young when that game was around. It was pretty cool that my parents got me the toys for it, though. We had Talon. We had the toy for Talon, and they got me the Diablo one, which I was so happy. Did you guys have any of those toys? They were great. Back in the day when we were children, you know? Now I just have my own children, and they don't give a shit about video games. Just want to watch Leo the Truck all day. Jerks. I'm like, come on, guys, let's play a video game. They're like, no. I'm watching Leo. Bob Lax. That's it.